Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, July 13th, 2023. My name is Coach AD, and we are here for our Mastermind Mastery Meeting. Obviously, one of the highlights of our self-development journey every single day. So what I want to talk about today is self-image, and how your self-image allows you to unlock the path to success. Our self-image, ladies and gentlemen, plays a significant role in how we perceive ourselves, our self-worth, and ultimately how we describe ourselves to ourselves. However, it can be challenging for us to honestly examine our self-image and understand its impact on our lives. So what we're going to do today is we will dive deep into this topic and discover how our self-image shapes our level of success. Now, let's look at the holistic picture of humanity as a whole. Let's begin by acknowledging that successful people don't have challenges. Let's begin by acknowledging that successful people are not devoid of problems. Successful people face similar challenges as everyone else. However, what sets them apart is their ability to see their self-image as that of problem solvers. So successful people are able to solve problems effectively. And ultimately, successful living is about the ability to solve problems successfully, because problems are an integral part of life itself. Our degree of success is determined by our proficiency in problem solving. And our proficiency in problem solving is determined by our self-image when it comes to solving problems. Now, let's explore the connection between understanding and defining what we want and our ability to achieve it. It's very important to recognize that we have the capacity to achieve our goals. Every single person. If you're listening to the sound of my voice at this moment in time, you have the capacity to achieve your goals. This isn't speculative. This is a statement of fact. If you don't have the capacity to achieve your goals, you wouldn't even desire those things in the first place. Challenge is, the problem often lies in our failure to clearly define our goals and believe in our ability to do what? To attain them. The extent to which we can solve problems directly affects the level of success we can achieve. Now, let's look at a very simple example. Let's say you get on a plane, and I think most people here have been on a plane at some point or the other. And if you're listening to us on the internet and you've never been on a plane before, maybe one day you will. But imagine getting into a plane and you see the pilot standing at the cockpit as you enter the plane, and you say, "Hey, Mr. Pilot or Miss Pilot, I have a question. Where are we? What time should we get there?" And the pilot says, "I really don't know." And you're like, "What do you mean you don't know?" He's like, "I don't know. We'll just fly, and eventually hopefully we'll get somewhere." And you say, "What do you mean somewhere?" He's like, "Yeah, we'll just fly, and wherever we end up, we end up." Wouldn't you panic? You would. So a pilot, when he gets on a plane, he knows exactly the direction he's going in. He knows exactly how long it's going to take to get there. And he knows, give or take, obviously, and he knows exactly where he's going to land. But if someone were to come to you and say, "Where are you going? How quickly are you going to get there? And in what way, shape, or form is it going to happen? What are your goals?" Some of you have no answer. Some of you have no answer. And you wonder why things are not going the way you want them to go. So anyway, and all this again is because of our self-image. Our self-image, like I said, plays a pivotal role in our journey towards success. Our self-image has a profound impact on how we perceive ourselves and what we believe we deserve. Our self-image can act as a barrier, keeping us from surpassing the level of success we envision for ourselves, or it can serve as a springboard, which will allow us to get there even quicker. Our self-image can turn problems and reasons for failure into undeniable truths in our mind, limiting our potential if we don't do what we need to do to have the right self-image. Our self-image keeps us within the confines of the success or failure we find most comfortable. You want to know what your self-image is? The simplest way to know what your self-image is go look at what you're accomplishing in life right now. Not where you're heading, what you're accomplishing right now. What do you spend your days doing? That's your self-image. If you're on the grind, your self-image is you're on the grind. If you're like giving excuses, your self-image is that of a person giving excuses. So your self-image becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, shaping our reality based on our perception of ourselves. So to break free from this cycle, we must challenge and redefine our self-image to match our aspirations and desires. By elevating our self-image, we can transcend our current limitations and reach whatever heights of success we want. So now, as we do this, as we think about and we decide to act on elevating our self-image, let's delve into a few talking points that will guide us on this journey of what I'd like to call personal mastery. Number one, we have to acknowledge that everybody has problems and challenges. The only difference, again, between successful people and unsuccessful people is successful people excel in problem solving. So your self-image has to be, I am a problem solver. I can solve problems. Whatever problems come my way, I can solve them. That's essential. Number two, you have to acknowledge and accept that successful living is, again, the ability to solve problems successfully, as problems are an inherent part of life. If you are alive, you will have problems. It is normal. You will have problems. And again, you can say, well, some problems are when you die. Well, maybe I have challenges. I'm using the word problems in the bigger scheme of things for the majority of humanity. I'm not using success speak, which is challenges. I use challenges. I think a problem is when someone is dead, but this is for the generality of humanity whose level of thinking hasn't elevated to the point of understanding the difference. So I'm just using problems in that context. So again, the extent of our success is determined by our problem-solving abilities. And I've said this numerous times. There are challenges I have at this stage in my life that some people consider a 9 a.m. meeting. In other words, everything I have going on in my life, there are some people that 9 a.m. in their 9 a.m. meeting, they can solve all those issues. And then there are things that some people listening to my voice have that I can solve in 2 minutes. So again, there are levels to success, and the extent of our success is determined by our problem-solving abilities. And once we solve a certain problem, it no longer becomes a problem because we know what to do. So when we face it in the future, it's a walk in the park. So you have to tell yourself that you are excellent at solving problems. The next thing is, you have to define your goals and understand your ability to achieve them. You, not someone else, you have to define your goals and understand your ability to achieve them. If your goal is you want to walk on the moon by next year, that goal is unachievable. So that cannot be a goal. That's wishful thinking. I'm talking of real goals that can actually happen. And whatever can happen is something that other people are able to do and other people are able to achieve within the scope of whatever paradigms you operate in. So for example, financial goals. Can you achieve whatever financial goals you want? Yes, within mathematical reason. And the whole universe is math, so it's doable. So successful living is also intertwined with serving others and recognizing our interdependence. We have to understand that if you want to, the very definition of successful living is how many people you can serve. Your rewards are in direct proportion to the service you provide. How many people can you help? How many people can you serve? Now, the crazy thing is that can be on any level. So for example, you can say, you know what, I want to go work for $17 an hour as a security guard. Well, you're providing service as a security guard and you are exchanging $17 per hour of your time. And guess what? Your rewards are directly proportional to that $17 worth of service you're giving every hour. On the other hand, you can decide to serve people by helping them become properly protected, debt-free, and on the path to financial independence. The rewards there are higher. You will get paid more. You might spend less time getting prepared, or you might spend the same amount of time getting prepared as the next person. But ultimately, the service you provide will give you the financial reward you deserve. So it's up to you. Now, misunderstanding or disregarding this law leads to frustration and discontent. Some of us want to have, proverbially speaking, some of us want a situation where we are in a cold room in the forest in the middle of the night, and there is a stove in front of us, and we're like, stove, give me heat. Yet you've refused to put firewood in it. You've refused to put logs of wood in it. It's the same thing we do in life. We misunderstand and disregard this law of service. We don't want to serve properly, but we want the rewards of serving properly. And again, as servant leaders, at times we have to go find people to serve. We don't need people to always look for us. At times we need to find them to serve, not to get spiritual in this discussion, but even look at someone like Christ. Christ looked for people to serve. Christ didn't go sit on a throne somewhere and said to the masses, come to me. Come to me, let me bless you. No, he walked around and he was helping people. He was serving people. You have to be the same way. You have to look, again, I know this sounds, some of you, it may be uncomfortable for you, but you literally have to seek out people you can serve so you can serve them, because some people need help, but they won't come to you because they might not even acknowledge the fact that they have problems. You have to bring it out of them, and then you provide solutions. Once you understand this, you will not be frustrated. How many people can you serve today? How many people can you serve this week? How many people can you serve this month? Go serve people and you will see the difference that is going to come to your life. Again, attempting to sidestep or avoid this law only leads to failure. Only leads to failure. You cannot be successful without serving people, because your psyche isn't in the right place. Now, how do you enhance your service? You enhance your service by understanding and serving others better. Understand the needs of the people you have. Don't you? I see some people, and I'm speaking specifically of this business. They are transactional. They don't want to serve anybody. They just want to write business. Let me go write business. Or they just want to bring somebody on board. Let me bring somebody on board. You can't do that. You have to be devoted and committed and focused on serving those people. How can you enhance their lives? That's where the rewards come. It's a matter of time. You might not get the rewards immediately, but you will get them. So you have to be sold out on serving others better. How can I serve someone better? What little thing can I do to become incrementally better in my service of other people? Now, having said all that, many people fail to realize their control over their lives and the power of individual goals. Many of us are victims. We have victim thinking. We think the universe, the world, the weather, the whatever, the government is against us. We think the reason we're not having what we want is because the stars are not in our favor. And that is wrong, guys. The power lies within us, and the way to access that power is by having individual goals. I'm not saying have grandiose, overreaching goals immediately. Start small, but have those goals and work your way up. Have those goals and work your way up. And before you know what's going on, you'll discover that you're extremely successful. You have that power. Because at the end of the day, success is literally the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Success is literally the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And anybody can be successful. It takes work. For some people, it might take a bit longer. For other people, a bit shorter. It depends on what you want. All depends on what you define as success. For example, there are people who consider success something that some of you consider as just a regular day in the world. I'll give you an example. There are people currently struggling to come to the United States. Some of you are here, you take it for granted. There are people, for example, currently struggling to eat. Some of you take it for granted, you throw food away. So again, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, and everybody has different ideals. But whatever it is you desire, once you have goals, you're more likely to accomplish it. Once you accomplish your goals, what do you do next? Set new goals once the previous ones are achieved. Again, your goals don't have to be extraordinary in nature. The smallest unit has to be simple. I am going to do this today. For example, I've told everyone on the team, in the organization, set 10 recruiting appointments a day and set 8 training appointments every day. Anybody can do that. Do most people do it? No. Why? Because in their minds, they've convinced themselves that it's too hard, or it's too difficult, or it's not, whatever. I don't know what the reasons are, but they've convinced themselves it's not doable. But that's the wrong thinking. Once you achieve your goals again, set new ones. And again, this is going to sound counterintuitive to some people, but don't be scared of the power of your dreams. Don't be scared of the power of your dreams. Desire a better future for yourself. Don't stop believing. Don't stop believing. Tell yourself, convince yourself, embrace persistent daydreaming, for lack of a better term. And one way to do that is by having your vision board. Think of the future you want. Think of the life you want, and you'll see that you'll keep on moving in that direction. The moment you stop, you'll have an average and ordinary life. I promise you, majority of humanity is average and ordinary. Why? Because they are afraid to dream. Don't be afraid to dream. Be an individual in your pursuit of success. What do I mean by that? If you look at society as a whole, society is going to place huge limitations on you. Doesn't matter who you are. Society is going to tell you it's okay to be average and ordinary. It's okay to live a regular life. It's okay to do regular things. Don't buy into that agenda. Be an individual. Have goals for yourself. Find those who have the same goals and aspirations as you do and align yourself with them. Listen to them. Follow their direction, because that's how you will get success. And again, why is this important? Because ultimately our thoughts shape our destiny. And when we don't focus on thoughts of success, when we focus on, oh my God, I need to pay my bills. Oh my God, I need to whatever, the basic things, that's all we'll get. So we need to shape our thoughts in such a way that we are going to get to higher ground. Why? Again, because our thoughts shape our destiny. So we have to focus on positive and empowering thoughts. Everybody has an I was, I am going to story. You have to fall in love with I am going to. You have to fall in love with when you will be at the height you desire to be at, where you'll be. If your goal is to be a household name, fall in love with that thought. Like, you know, I was on my way to the office this morning. I was looking at, because Google gives me news stories and I try to keep up with what's going on in the world. And Google like gives me a news feed, whatever they give me, I read. And this morning it was about Beyonce. And it was how Beyonce's first leg of Beyonce's store is in Philadelphia, and how the whole of Philadelphia is going crazy because of her tour, because of her tour stop. Even the news anchors on the local news, somebody dressed up as Beyonce and lip synced Beyonce's lyrics. Somebody else, the traffic reporter, I think they were like, the traffic reporter found a way to name drop 15 Beyonce songs in a 1.5 minute segment. Why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because I've been around long enough to remember when Beyonce was in Destiny's Child. And I'm young enough also to remember when Beyonce and Destiny's Child were an unknown group featured on Wyclef Jean's, can't remember the name of the song now, but he had a song, Wyclef Jean of the Fugees. He had a song, and Destiny's Child was on the song. These guys were unknown. But even then, you could see that Beyonce was a super hustler. She was focused on being the biggest star in the world. And now 20 or 25 years, or maybe 20 years later, she has accomplished that. So again, she never stopped dreaming. She never stopped dreaming. So harness the power of your mind to create the future you desire. Remember, security lies within you, not externally. A lot of people don't succeed because they think security is external. Oh my God, I'm getting a paycheck, I'm secure. Oh my God, I have a, no, that's not security. Security is in your mind. That's why you have a person who wins the lottery today, but they don't have a secure mind about what they're worth, and tomorrow they're broke. And at the same time, you have a multi-millionaire who files bankruptcy or things go wrong, and tomorrow he's a millionaire again, because both of these people understand that security is in here. Become a professional at what you do. Becoming a professional involves knowledge, planning, and consistent effort. You have to be professionals at the game of success. If you're going to win here, you have to be professionals at the game of success. Game of success, no, I'm not saying be a professional in investments or be a professional in life insurance. Definitely, you have to be professional there. But if you're business owners building multi-million-dollar businesses, you have to be professionals in the game of success. How do you become a professional? Dedicate time to study, learn what, absorb whatever you can to become better. Like you're all listening to this Mastermind Mastery Meeting. That's part of it. But outside of this, go read. Like this morning, I've read, I can't even tell you how many pages I've read. Go get better. Create a clear mental image of your goals and act as if you have already achieved them. Create a clear mental image of your goals and act as if you've already achieved them. Again, another example, I mean, today maybe today is Hip Hop Thursday or Musical Thursday, I don't know. But Tupac Shakur, I mean, he's been dead now for many years. But I was also young enough to see Tupac when Tupac was, and I mean, I'm a hip hop head, I love hip hop. And I was a fan of Digital Underground. Some of you don't even know who that is. But Tupac was a roadie with Digital Underground. And then Tupac was featured, eventually they gave him a chance to be featured on Same Song, which is a Digital Underground song. And that was Tupac's first song, as far as I can recall, that was actually mainstream, at least in the hip hop end of things. And even then, you could see that Tupac was ready to do whatever he had to do. And in the next few years, it was literally a few years, Tupac went from being a roadie to being the biggest, or one of the biggest hip hop or musical acts in the world. Definitely at some point in time, Tupac was the most influential Black man in America. I mean, at some point in time. And of course, he died, and may his soul rest in peace. But the point is, when I was watching a documentary on Hulu about Tupac called Dear Mama. I watched this maybe a month ago, and it was showing interviews with Tupac when he was a kid. And already Tupac had a clear mental image of what he wanted to achieve, and he was already acting like he had gotten there. So you have to be the same way. I'm not saying be like Tupac and go live thug life. I'm not saying that at all. Please, that's not what I am saying. I'm just saying have a clear mental image and act as if you've already accomplished what you want to accomplish. understand that your mind is the key to success and happiness. Your mind, not whatever is outside. You could be drinking, eating, smoking, whatever it is you do, that's not going to make you happy. You can have all the material things in the world. It wouldn't make you happy either. But what's in your mind? 100%. Your thoughts determine your destiny. So your goal every day has to focus on, your focus has to be on empowering your thoughts every single day. Empower your thoughts. Empower your thoughts. Get better. And before you know it, boom. Work diligently towards your goals, utilizing the power of your mind. Work smart, work hard, but keep on working. Don't stop, don't slow down. So how do you follow the formula for success with all I've said? Set goals, believe in your ability to achieve them, work diligently, and become a professional in your field. And before you know it, success is yours. So now that we understand the importance of self-image, problem solving, and goal setting, it's time for us to take action. Remember, knowledge enough is not enough, or rather, knowledge alone is not enough. We must apply what we have learned in our lives. Through dedication and persistence, we can literally redefine our self-image, solve problems effectively, and achieve the success we desire. So as we conclude this Mastermind Mastery session, let's reflect on the incredible potential within each one of us. If you are here listening to me, I am telling you that you have all it takes to live a life beyond your wildest dreams. Why? Because you are alive. Now, an act of God can happen. Any of us can die at any point. We belong to our Almighty, and He gives us life and He takes it. I'm not disputing that. But as long as we are alive and in good health, and we are in the greatest country on earth, the United States of America, we have the power to shape our lives and achieve immense greatness. Let's not settle for mediocrity. Let's not settle for being average and ordinary. Let's not settle for the mundane. Let's commit to continuous personal growth. Let's commit to getting better in every area, because again, when we do, the lives we live will be so much better. And ultimately, supporting and uplifting one another along this journey of mastery is essential. Be a servant leader. Go find someone whose problems you can solve. Go find someone whose life you can make better. Do it sincerely, do it from the heart, and see what happens. So anyway, thank you all for being a part of this, and I think it's been transformative, of this transformative Mastermind Mastery session. I know I speak to many of you, at least those of you in the organization. I speak to you all the time. And your presence, your insights, and your commitment to personal growth, and I see you guys growing. It's inspiring, and I'm very happy to be part of that journey. Some of you don't want to grow. I don't know why, but those of you who are growing, you know yourself, so keep on growing. So remember, the path to success starts with mastering our self-image and embracing the power within us. So let's unlock our full potential and create lives filled with what? Create lives filled with abundance and fulfillment. So guys, it's been real. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're on the team, God bless you. If you're not on the team, God bless you too. God bless America. God bless Team Alpha. And of course, it's me, Coach AD.